Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about the ways I use to generate a full-time income dealing in the hobby that I like, which is sports cards. So there's three specific ways that I generate income. So number one is through COMC. And COMC, let's check out my cards if you guys aren't aware of it. I'm going to make a separate video in each one of these things and detail how I go about managing these separate things. So the first one is COMC. So if you guys aren't familiar, stay tuned. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to show exactly what I do on that website. I just got on it last year, pretty much early in the year, and then the pandemic hit. So that really slowed things down, although I think it has been successful for me. The problem is their shipping times and their processing times, but we'll get to that in a separate video, all those details. The next is I set up at card shows. I'm going to show you what I sell, how I price things, and how I obtain what I sell at shows. So shows are good in that you might be able to sell a lot in a short period of time. Maybe you're doing a one-day show, maybe you're doing a weekend show, maybe you're doing, the National, which is like almost a whole week. So which you have to realize, like, what are the best things to sell at shows, and how do you obtain those things. So I try to do like a show a month. Again, with the pandemic, it was kind of hard, but there were no shows for over a year, so that was not really an option. But since I have an eBay business, the next thing I talk about, that did really well during the pandemic. So there were no shows, and then people got into the hobby much more than they had in previous years because they were stuck at home. So the next thing is eBay. So eBay, I've had a store for about 10 years, and I just realized, like, I was able to go to shows where I was just buying, I was just collecting, and I realized, like, the things that people were selling, there were some real niche sellers in the things that I like, and they were always doing well. And some of them had eBay stores, some of them just sold at shows. So I thought, like, I would give that a try. All right, these people are doing this. I have similar stuff. Maybe, I might have more. I have quite a bit of stuff. So I just felt like it was an option for me. Like, let's try it, see how things go. And I started selling stuff immediately. So that it was kind of surprising, given that I'm in more of a niche market in autographs, but actually that works to my advantage because, you might have 1,000 sellers selling all the same kind of stuff. So they're constantly undercutting each other, and you'll have that in any area, but there's going to be a lot less of it the more niche you can get in selling. And this goes for anything. I think this goes for anything. If you are an eBay seller, you could sell anything, but you have to, I think the best option is to look for niche markets. And then if you already know something about that, that's even better. But that doesn't mean you can't learn about something you enjoy. You can't learn more about it. You can't get into it more. You can't learn what sells, because you can do all those things. And you start to develop an eye for what sells. And so what I'll do is I'll go through my eBay stuff as well. I'll show you guys exactly how I list things, what I'm looking for when I'm at shows, and maybe buying online or whatever, what I'm looking for, and how I list things, how I ship things, how I price things. Because again, like, having a niche market, you're not exactly always going to find comparables. So you got to realize like what it is you have you're selling. And again, this would go for anything that's especially niche, you know, because you might have the same, basically the same thing, but you know, because it's an example I like to use is like college football stuff. College football, you know, like from maybe Notre Dame, it might not be worth as much as you think because there's a lot of Notre Dame stuff. But on the other hand, if you have like the University of Iowa, if maybe Iowa State, you know, I'm from Iowa, so I can relate to those a little more, but those are going to sell much better than UCLA or, you know, USC, or because there's the only thing in Iowa is Iowa football, really. So just kind of recognize what you have, you know, recognize what you see and be able to price things without even really knowing what it's worth. That's a skill you'll need to develop if you want to sell on eBay and you're in a niche market, which I think is the best. Again, that's the best market you need to go for, because you just want to have like not 1,000 sellers selling the same thing. And this goes for check out my cards. You might look up a Mike Trout card and there's 200 Mike Trout cards. Well, what do you think that's going to do? The price, supply and demand. So you're going to have that specific card go down. And the same goes for eBay, anything, supply and demand. So the less supply of something, as long as people are wanting it, the more you're going to get for it. So number 1 is COMC. Number 2 is selling in person. Number 3 is eBay. So eBay is the biggest money maker for me because it's pretty easy to list things, and you can get quite fast at it, and you can get organized and all that kind of stuff at it. So that's what I'm going to start talking to you guys about. It's a multi-source of income mentality that you need to develop, and I will show you exactly what I do to do that. And I do believe anyone can do that. If you're really dedicated, if it's something you really like to do, you can create a full-time income. So that's one. And I have other ways to make money. I have an actual job, and I'll talk about that some, but that's not really what I'm interested in. And some other things I deal with, but we'll get into that later. I just want to talk about sports cards, collectibles in general. Like I said, this information, I feel like you can use in any area, really, in collectibles, maybe jewelry or whatever. You have to learn about it, and you have to be pretty passionate about learning. And it can start out as a side hustle. You can grow that side hustle, and maybe someday you'll be able to quit your job. But the better thing to do is have it on the side, make it a full-time income. Maybe you can go part-time at your job. Maybe you can quit altogether. But I do believe that this is something anyone can accomplish. You just have to be willing to do it. So we're going to talk a lot about that. You guys, please like and subscribe. The point of this channel, I know I mentioned this in other videos, is that, yeah, I'm going to show my collection and all this stuff, the stuff that I get. But the long-term point of this is to be financially independent. So I'm kind of going about this in a roundabout way, but that's what I'm going to talk about. And how do you get there? How do you get there doing things on your own, in your own terms? Things you love to do already, maybe you have that already, you guys can develop that. So stay tuned. I'm going to have the first video I'm going to have about this is the COMC video, where I'll go into detail. I'll screenshot exactly what I'm doing, and it'll all be like off the cuff. So when I go on, I'll show you just like what I'm looking for when I go on to that specific site, and then we'll do that for eBay as well. So stay tuned, guys. I really think you guys will learn quite a bit. I said this in a previous video. If I had someone telling me how to do this in in the past. I probably could have got there 5 years faster than I did. But you have to have the confidence to do it. You have to believe in yourself that you can do it. It goes for anything. Starting your own business, starting a new venture. You guys should take risk. To take, I mean, it's going to sound cliche, but you have to take risks to get rewards. You know, you can sit in a job, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But the fact is, if you're only earning one income, it's just not enough. It's not enough in this day and age. And it's going to get worse. I mean, inflation is going to get worse. Everything's gotten more expensive. I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. So I think everyone should have some kind of side hustle. Even if you're just making a couple $100 here and there, you know, that kind of money can help a lot of people. So that is my goal here for you guys. Again, it's not going to take anything. If people become successful, it doesn't take anything away from me. Even if they're doing exactly what I'm doing, I don't feel like it's going to take any. And then it's not going to take anything away from me. And in reality, I think it's going to help more people realize, you know, what's out there, what's available, and just expand. So, you know, if you guys know anybody that might like this content, please let them know. Please tell them to subscribe. Gonna have 100 subscriber contests are coming up. A little over 90 right now, so slowly but surely we're getting up there. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.